Welcome back to Wedding Mayhem. And we've got Lottie here.
Hi!
Dragged in from the green room on her way out.
I literally just done my podcast. I went to the green room and then she was like, oh, what are you doing? You want to come on mine?
It's been chaos today, honestly. And it got me thinking about the, when you're planning a wedding, to have that dual calendar.
Oh, yeah.
My husband's been wanting me to have it for ages.
You need to do it. It's honestly how I survive life. And if you know those moments where you tell them something and then they claim that they didn't hear you say it, they're like, oh, you didn't tell me. It's in the calendar, mate.
Every single time.
In the calendar.
Every single time he does that to me. But I think I might need to do it with the boss.
Yeah, you do. You need a cheeky monkey joint calendar.
You might have one for all of us. Yeah, what a great idea.
Oh, God, here she goes.
No. Yeah, sure. No. So we need to introduce you properly. Yeah. Who are you and what do you do?
I am Lottie and I host Tits, Tums and All Things Mum, another podcast at this studio. And yeah, she's just claimed me to be a co-host today.
To be fair, I've been
on my
asking
way
you
out
for
the
a
door.
long time.
You have.
And we just haven't got together.
But our brains just don't work and we never reply to each other and then we just don't get a date. It never happens. So you've just, in typical ADHD fashion, you've just grabbed me in the corridor.
It happened.
Come on.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
It was meant to be and that's why I'm here today.
So what are you up to at the moment?
All sorts. I'm taking my podcast on tour. We are doing a stage show of the podcast. That's in September. I'm also an influencer, mum of two, all of the things. So many strings to my bow. So
my God, doing a tour.
I know.
That's huge.
I'm buzzing about the tour. You guys have got to get involved.
Yeah, have we not got tickets? Sure,
tickets aren't even on sale yet.
Oh, no, I haven't got tickets.
So I don't know how you've got tickets, but tickets go on sale in 2 weeks.
I'll come in anyway.
You're just there. Yeah, so it's going to be a really fun night of just absolute, mayhem, carnage, my brain on stage. So
what will be the content?
So it's all about parenthood, honest parenthood. There's 7 segments, mental health,
it's important
all
to
of
be
that
honest.
stuff. Yeah. But there's going to be a naked fashion show. There's a stripper. There's inflatable tits everywhere. It's just going to be chaos. And you know Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway?
Yes.
You know they used to go into the audience with a microphone and be like, you, Anne from wherever.
Yes.
And then give them a prize.
Yes.
I'm doing that.
Can I give out the prizes?
If you want.
Okay, love
Come on then, there you go. So you got to go into the audience and be the person
naked.
that's like, no, why are you naked? I mean, you can be naked if you want, but yeah, but you'll be the one being like, you deserve this because you've done this, and this. Here's a spa day. Here's a holiday.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You can do that. There you go.
And all the details are on your website.
All on my website. You can find me everywhere at Tits, Tums and All Things Mum.
We are going to link everything in. So we have not rehearsed this whatsoever.
I've literally just planted my bum on this couch and just chatting.
I went, make sure I'm out at this time to go and pick up my children.
Yeah, I can't be leaving my kids at the school gate. It's like, Mum, where are you? She's abandoned me for Sharon.
And the poor devil that's having to put up with us today is our guest, and he's been on before, and it's Ben Soyza-Montague.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Did I do it right?
You nailed it. Yes.
She did it.
He just sat there and went, oh, we've double-barreled our names since we got married. I'm like, oh, for God's sake.
And then we just wanted to make sure we had a terrible time on forums and nobody could find us on social media. As many consonants as possible.
Yeah. But it's hard, isn't it? Because you want to keep your own family identity.
This is it.
So merging names are important, but my son's done it with his wife, and they've both got really long names.
Can you say them? No.
No, I won't.
No, you won't. Okay.
Leave their privacy at home. But it's what happens on your credit card?
Yeah, well, there's not enough characters. We've got an extended credit card. It's about 4 meters long.
Yeah.
Not actually, no.
Did you actually think that was serious then?
No, well, I just want to know what happens. Oh my God, what have I done?
Oh my God.
The reason why we've got you here is we want to talk about all things boys and grooms in particular, because there is nothing out there for the boys.
So true. I actually, and this is something as a father to be in October, there's also a lot of it is hey ladies, you organise all of the wedding and you do all of the things, and there's not a lot of support for men to be here are the things that you need to do, here's how you can help.
I put a post out on social media only last week going, right, we're going to do this. Are there any grooms here? These are on these wedding forums for brides, and even say brides getting married or, you know, and stuff like that, I was flooded. So I've got loads of questions and loads of stories.
Yeah.
But I was so shocked that people were going, there is nothing out here for us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, they're on these forums because they're stalking to pick up tips and stuff like that, you know. So so you're definitely going to help us. But tell us what you actually do.
Yeah,
apart
absolutely.
From being a groom.
Apart from being a groom, so I'm a fresh groom, father-to-be. I'm also a presenter and a social media consultant. So these are the two things that I sort of main in. Guys, I did my first celebrant gig the other week.
No way.
Yeah, it was for my friend's wedding, and I hosted the whole ceremony.
How hard was that?
It was actually really easy.
Was it?
Yeah, because I
you
know
knew
them.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
it. And this is like, people are like, oh, you should do it as a job. And it's always like, well, yeah, I know exactly who they are and what they find funny.
Yeah.
That's the cheat code. Yeah.
You're also a comedian.
Yes, yeah, I do stand up as well.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
I know.
That is so cool.
I have a joke.
Go on.
Oh, gosh.
I have a joke.
I'm sure it's going to be good.
It's really good,
Okay,
right?
go on then.
I tested it on my husband last night and he did laugh.
Okay.
I can only do the alphabet in 25 letters. I don't know why.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's good.
Is that good?
It's good.
Because it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Lottie laughed out of sympathy there. That wasn't real.
I was waiting for that. Oh, there you are.
bless you.
Yes. I nearly forgot the punchline then, though.
You did. That took a minute. You had it.
But stand-up's hard.
Yeah, it's like, it's a really weird, it's like one of the few art forms where you know immediately whether you're good or not, because you'll say something and there'll just be nothing. And you're
Do you
like,
ever get heckled?
Oh, yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
not scare you?
No, the heckles are when the show
So
gets
his
funny.
wife.
My wife is the worst to bring to a comedy show.
Is she
'cause
why?
Every joke you tell, she just goes, "Aww."
Aw.
That's not like.
He's so cute.
Yeah. It's like, no, I need laughter, not sympathy.
So what made you do stand-up?
When I started presenting, there's a lot of moments where there's like dead air to fill and you don't know what to say. And I found that the more I did stand up, the more I could fill those silences.
Right.
Because you have to be so on your toes and you have to be able to read the room.
Yeah.
I know so many presenters that go out and do a gig and they're just like the same material every time and it's
Okay.
just flat. So you need to be able to read the room.
Yeah.
I think stand up does that.
100%.
Yeah.
So talk us through. Let's start at the beginning. Where did you meet Sophie?
Oh, okay. So we started on both of our very first presenting gig together.
She's a presenter too.
She's a presenter as well. That's how we met. She joined in the December. I joined in the January, and we started talking and flirting. And everyone was like, "Don't poop where you eat." And I'm like,
Don't poop where you eat.
I was already in the little box. I was like, sorry. What did you say?
I was in the little book. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we moved in together after knowing each other for 6 weeks. We signed for a house for a year.
I can beat you on that. 2 weeks.
No way.
2 weeks.
Wait, how did you meet your partner?
Just the pub.
Just in a pub doing shots.
But no, actually, he owned the pub and she just stayed in the pub.
No, I owned the pub.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was so
Literally, I did
misogynist.
not-
Wait,
I
was
did
that
not
his
know.
plan?
I
He just
promise-
wanted to move into the pub.
I actually do not know you.
No, I know.
So that was really weird.
Yeah. You knew that someone owned the pub.
Somebody had a pub.
Yeah.
Man, 2 weeks.
So what happened then?
So what happened? We moved in. We kind of got bullied a little bit at work because we started spending too much time together.
Right.
And when you're in it's like an environment. Imagine this, right?
Yeah.
We were presenting from so the shows would run from 12 till midnight
Yeah.
or 2 till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're just locked in with all these other presenters. And it became kind of like Big Brother. Everyone was kind of talking about each other and stirring shit and all that kind of
Gossip,
thing.
yeah,
Gossip
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
And so we had kind of a tough time in that first sort of year together. And then the project collapsed. Everyone got made redundant. The whole studio disappeared. And we were like, we were in Stoke-on-Trent. I mean, what a place to end up in, right? So,
I don't know if I've ever been.
yeah, I mean, maybe.
They make pottery in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, Emma Bridgewater's
There
in
we go,
Stoke-on-Trent.
there
Well
you
done.
go.
Oh my god.
How did you know that
I have
random
no
fact?
idea. I'm great for quizzes on stuff like that.
It's also why all our house is full of Emma Bridgewater stuff.
No way.
I mean, it is cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
So we've got to ask about your proposal because you don't know about it.
I know. I can't wait to hear the story.
I can't stop crying every time I see it.
Oh God, are we going to cry?
We're at 1 million plus views now on YouTube.
Yeah.
So over a minute. And this was Sophie, my wife. Her criteria was, I want as many people to see my proposal as possible. And so...
She's very shy.
Yes, that's
yeah,
it.
she doesn't like the attention. And so this is how we kind of met, right? Because you know Alex, who runs Club Mob, and Club Mob is like a surprise entertainment company. So
They're viral.
Like
they
flash mobs.
Yes.
flash mobs,
Yes.
but also like PR stunts and all this amazing stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're amazing. And I worked with Club Mob as a dancer initially, and then I kind of was like, well, I've got all of these people at my disposal. I know exactly how it all works. Why don't we get all of these people together and let's make a proposal happen? And the first step was I couldn't tell Alex, because then she'd freak out. So she needed to know later down the line. Not because she can't keep a secret, but she gets excited.
She's very excitable.
Yeah. So I told Gemma, who also works with the company, I told her first. She was actually weirdly the first person that I told that I was going to propose to. Like out of everyone, even my friends, parents, everything. And so we got to work. And yeah, it all kind of snowballed.
And where did you do it?
So we did it, the actual performance was at Spitalfields Market. There's like a little square. I think it's actually been revamped. I don't think you could do the same performance anymore because there's different stuff there now. But I called on my friends. I was like, hey, I'm going to do a flash mob proposal. I know it's a bit cheesy. You guys are sick of them, so am I. But my wife loves them. So can you come and do it? And not a single one of them said anything about money. And I was like, I'll pay you. And none of them accepted a penny. I still can't believe it. Yeah.
That's
amazing.
So she had no idea whatsoever.
She had no idea. So the concept of these proposals is man takes lady, or no, couple one, partner one takes partner two to location. Yeah. They pretend to stop and look at performance. Performance involves partner one, and then partner two gets dragged in. Proposal happens.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's amazing. And it is. Viral views, millions of them. And so my
Were you working on this day?
This is it. So Sophie knows exactly what I do, right? So if we just turned up and there was no other couple there, she'd be like, this is a bit weird. Who are we performing to? So we actually had to get a decoy couple. We had friends of a friend come in and sit and watch the performance like they were about to do the proposal. And so my wife was behind one of the cameras waiting. She was like cheering. And then at one moment in the performance, all of the dancers just stop performing to this couple and just swivel and start performing to her. And there's this moment where she goes, and the penny just drops.
Oh my God! We are
special.
going to put this in
I
because
have to see this. I haven't seen it.
Honestly, it's her face.
Oh, it's so good.
And just you're just so cute. It's every time.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I am. So proposal happens.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? Planning the wedding.
Well, this is it. And Sophie, I read some of the questions to her. And obviously some of them were about planning the wedding. She was like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? And I was like, well, I'll just say what I did. And she was like, what did you do? And I was like...
And this is why we, this is why we want to do this episode, because it's not about, you'll want to do stuff, but I think the girls from the off are, I've got it planned. Some of them have got it planned from 6 years old.
Yeah.
And they know, and they're so organised in life. It's just inbuilt in us.
Yeah.
And we run away with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then boys are quite happy for that to happen.
Of course, it's way easier.
And then you get the backlash going, you did nothing.
You did nothing. I was very much like, I didn't want to be just another dude on this, but I think I might have been just another dude on this. So here's the thing. I think one of the big things, like house stresses, comes from you want your partner to be autonomous, right? You want your partner to be in the house, understand that you live lives together and to just get on with stuff.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what to do when it came to planning a wedding. So I was like, excuse me, do you think you could like do it? Yeah.
And what did she do?
She did it.
She did it.
She did it.
Yeah.
I helped where I could. So there were a couple of things where I was like, I was a videographer. So I contacted videographers where I could. We made a page on, is it With Joy?
Yes.
That was really helpful because actually that prompts you with a lot of different things.
It's like starting a new job.
Yes, it is. And also like if you don't work in events, it's like the biggest event you'll ever plan in your life.
But also I think if you do work in events, it's quite, you get quite a lazy approach to it because you'll go, oh yeah, I'll ring Hayley. Oh yeah, I'll ring, and you don't venture out and see what else is out there. Yeah. It's quite easy just to click a button and go, right, that's booked. So definitely. The thought process behind it, the research into it.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for all your questions?
Yeah, okay, let's go.
So we had loads of questions come in, okay, and these are, questions from grooms not knowing what to do or asking advice really and stuff like that. And we have got some funny stories too.
Yes, great.
And then we want to know all your top tips and stuff like that.
I will help where I can.
Okay, perfect. Right. I'll start off one.
You go on.
Yeah, you don't have to pick from the top anywhere. Is it okay? Is it okay to push back an expensive? Is it okay to push back on expensive traditions? Parents are really pushing and willing to pay, but I'd rather not spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend it on something else.
Yeah. This is something that happens.
From Tim.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Did either of you experience any of this on your days? Like where
I
family?
had 3 weddings because of COVID.
How many did you have?
I've had 3 in total. Lottie, we're supposed to be together.
I mean, they didn't actually go through, and they're all with the same man.
Oh no, I had 3 men and they all went through.
Yeah,
So
it's different. It's a different thing.
I'm a follow through.
No, this is because of COVID. They got cancelled twice. We literally got as far as like almost the day.
Yeah.
And then they got cancelled.
Oh,
so I've
God.
planned 3 weddings. So it has cost way more than your typical one wedding.
no.
So I'm still in debt now. It's been 20 years.
And I didn't have the parent thing really because because of
Is that even still a thing?
well, I had a very dysfunctional family, and first
Yeah.
wedding it was 23, second I was 30 something, and the last one was 40 something. So
Right,
I do
okay.
decades.
Yeah. 1 every 10.
Yeah, I'm 3 years out of getting to the next one. So
Well,
Get saving now,
congratulations.
hun. Get saving.
Yeah.
so I'm not paying for the next one. So I didn't have that influence.
Sure.
Although in the middle one, sort of, because she put money towards it, Ross's mum, but she wanted to invite more people.
Yes. We had the same thing at our wedding. It was like your parents once do you remember Brenda who tied your shoes once when you were 2?
Your neighbour's best friend's dog walker.
Yeah, you get all. That's the big one for us. Was just like people being inserted into the wedding.
Yeah.
And if they've given you money, it's almost like they kind of have a right to do that.
Yeah.
So
But they don't have a right.
no, they don't. But it makes you feel like they do because they've given you
Yeah.
so much money. Or
I think before you
whatever.
take the money, ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you expecting anything from this money?
What do you want?
I think if it's inviting extra people, for us, we were like, okay, our parents have done so much for us over our lifetime. We have a good relationship with them. Happy to have their friends or friends of the family. That also we kind of know from our childhood. But I think if it's anything to do with the rest of the day, like how it runs, I don't think tradition or even parents have a say anymore. Because tradition, I think, is like a good structure. I think work off that and be like, here are all the traditional things. And be like, well, I like that. I don't like this. Let's get rid of that. Do you know what I mean? I think you can customize it a bit now.
Yeah,
We've had a few stories come in where I think actually it might be in with Alex, where they've paid for another surprise singer to come in
Oh, I love
Yes.
them.
and not told the bride and groom
Oh, really?
or the venue.
Like
and
someone else's.
somebody else's
my
turned out, so you've got
God.
two lots.
Yeah, they have to fight to the death.
That's hilarious.
It's the law of the flash
Like
mob.
Hunger Games.
Yeah,
but flash
yeah, they've got to
mob.
own it.
Good luck coming up against you lot. You're definitely going to win, especially with Josh in the background.
Got a West Side Story.
Bop, bop, bop. What have you got?
Hilarious. So, what if my partner is uncomfortable with typical stag party ideas? She really wants me to skip it all together.
Ooh. Oh, that's so tough.
What did you do for your stag do?
I'm a geek. I'm proud to
Love
say
that.
that I play D&D. I'm not scared. I do video games, all that stuff.
So what is D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons. Come on,
Thank you,
man.
Lottie. Oh my gosh.
God, I'm
yeah.
still on Candy Crush.
Oh,
It's
Very
nothing
high
like Candy
level,
Crush.
by the way.
what level are you on to still be playing that?
Oh, I don't know, but they keep sending me like little like extras, So I think I might be an influencer and not know it.
Yeah, you're on a loyalty
yeah.
program. Yeah, that's really tough because I think like stags in general, I don't think my parents' generation, I don't think had stags. They're very much like a kind of a now thing. But I think what you're allowed to do is be like, I'm uncomfortable with these things. So my partner was like,
Why is she uncomfortable though?
that's the question.
Yeah.
Are we about to get into like a therapy session here?
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Why was she uncomfortable? And
Yeah.
there's trust issues there.
And I think
It
that's
depends
the
what
issue.
it is though, because if you're saying, I don't want my partner to have a private lap dance, I feel like that's
fine.
a good that's a fine boundary to set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can go to a strip club, whatever, but don't have a private lap dance.
Yeah, no touching.
Yeah.
Or you can. It's also possible to have a stag do without a strip club, like
Without
without touching other women. It's like I didn't do it. I promise. And do you know what I mean? So
I saw Dream Boys, so I can't really.
Yeah, I've heard
On my
about this.
list,
I think
on my list.
Yeah.
Well, come to Tits on Tour,
Okay.
and you might be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
There's a lot of
I'm
nudity,
definitely going
I
naked.
feel.
There's going to be a lot of bodies at this show.
I think that it depends on. I think there's issues that either with the groom,
Yeah.
or she doesn't trust the
I think
stags.
she doesn't trust him or the people that if she
going
can
with
set
her
boundaries that
hands.
she can trust, then that's a
Yeah.
different thing. But if not,
And I just find that people don't go out separately anymore in couples. They
No.
tend to go out in groups.
yeah.
What, for Stag and Hen?
No, just
In general, like if you're
just
going
in
out,
January.
you go as
So
couples.
when the lads go out, it is lads.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
They're out,
yeah.
they're wild. We've got license to do what we want, and so it might not be just the groom.
Yeah.
It will be the other
Everyone's
individuals.
amped up.
You know,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of the stories come through in that one, so I do for that. I do see
They
her
are linked.
point.
I genuinely think as well, there is quite a bad thing out there with stags, because when I was on my Hendu, there was loads of stag do's as well. It's like I had a come at me sign on my head
Yes.
when I had my
License
bride hat
to
on.
humiliate.
All these stags were trying it on with me, and I was like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like,
right here,
you're
buddy.
about to get married.
Last chance saloon.
Yeah, and I literally became this
Magnet.
this magnet that everyone wanted.
You were like,
because
why weren't you here when I knew?
why weren't you here when I was single, for Christ's sake?
I had exactly that on my hen do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I cheated on my hen do because I was given it, because we went on one of these boats and we went to pirates them Cornish, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, pirates, rawr. And we were given I was given a tankard, and I think what they were going to do is keep topping it up
Right.
full. So they had all the wines and everything like that, and I was literally chucking it out and then going to the bar and went, I'll have beer. I'm good on beer, so
Yeah.
I knew it'd be okay.
Yeah.
So my glass always looked like it was full.
Great.
And weirdly enough, another stag, I think it was about 3 hen do's and 3 stag do's on this boat. It was
Smart.
It was
Yeah.
carnage.
Yeah. Bring those together.
Yeah. I can't tell you.
Oh,
There are
God.
pictures somewhere. But not of me, but me and one of the grooms. He went, I'm not enjoying this. I went, me neither. And I told him my plan, and he went, oh my God, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And so he did exactly the same thing, but it was his worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was like, why won't they leave me alone?
But the
It's just-
hens were all over the the goods to be.
Oh no, we weren't like that at
No,
all. We
yeah.
literally wanted to have our fun and just be
Yeah.
left alone, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess there are some groups out there who maybe this woman is warranted to feel worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you've got, cause to be concerned, you've got to have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
And set boundaries.
Set boundaries.
Can we set boundaries for you guys, or is it?
Yeah, because the goal is to have fun, but not at your expense.
Yeah.
And I think if you're happy to have fun at your partner's expense, then maybe there are some other things in the relationship you should be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk it through. Have a joint one.
Yeah. Although I don't know if I'd like that very much, because my husband went to Scotland on a whiskey tour.
Oh, I'd like that.
No.
No.
I like a bit of whiskey.
I don't like
Oh,
whiskey.
God, what
Tastes
have we
like-
got?
But what did you do? You didn't finish your story.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So we went to we went out in Bristol and we did nice meals and stuff, and then we ended up at a place called NQ64,
Right.
which is it's like a 30-year-old's dream if you played video games, because there was old Game Cubes in there, Guitar Hero. It was also a club, and it just got everyone's such a geek that everyone's just nice and wholesome, and
Perfect.
we were just taking care of each other. It was just nice.
Yeah, and you can do wholesome things. You don't have to
Yeah.
go out. I like the whiskey thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not that wholesome. I mean, it's grains,
It was.
isn't it?
It's great.
It's great.
Balanced diet.
Yeah.
Good for gut.
They did enjoy the views and the scenery as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Though. It wasn't
Yeah.
just
Bit of
about
fishing?
fishing. No, imagine going fishing. People do though, don't
they?
they?
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
My best friend, I'm her maid of honour, and she's doing stuff similar to what you're doing, like arcades. We're doing
Activities.
virtual darts and stuff like that. Just fun stuff.
Yeah, I love that. How do I write meaningful vows if I'm not good with words, Kenny?
ChatGPT.
and yes.
The only thing with that, I've only
You can
just
make it
discovered
word it nicely.
Yes.
Don't be ChatGPT-ish, but write me vows.
Yeah, and actually before you do that, put something personal about you and your partner, because it will just give out generic stuff. So
Yeah.
make it more personal. And I would probably get them to do bullet points.
Here's what you should do with any ChatGPT prompt. You should, if you're trying to get a thorough answer rather than a quick one, be like, here's what I'm trying to do. Ask me 10 questions around this prompt before starting. And then you answer those questions and then it understands the brief a little bit better. That's a great way of doing it.
That is brilliant.
And then you can rewrite it in your own words because some of them aren't going to match you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can also write it in a chatty tone, write it in this tone, and it will put it, because like my ChatGPT's memorised my tone now. So it's like, write it how I would talk, and it does it.
Oh God, I've got no hope.
Don't tell anyone that I work for, Darren. I use ChatGPT.
You know that we're quite viral out there.
Wow.
We'll get at least 50,000 on this one. I've completely lost my train of thought then. I would also put it on cards rather than a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse standing there.
Also, if you've got sweaty hands, it will go all like mushy, won't it?
Yeah.
I put it on card for my couple, and I held them. So if you can get your celebrant or your be like, can you hold this for me and pass it to me when I'm ready?
I had visions of you going like, right now, read it.
I would just like the big, like in Shrek, you know, when you laugh.
Oh my God. Right, you got another one?
Yeah, let's go. How do I handle cold feet or last minute doubts? Anon.
Ooh.
Literally, anon.
Anon. That's a big one. I mean, did you had 3 opportunities? You had 3 opportunities.
Yeah, I was way past the cold feet.
You were like, let me just get it done.
Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, cold feet is normal, isn't it?
I think so. I think like going into any big contract.
Yeah. It's a commitment for life, really, if you think of it in that sense.
100%.
I don't think anybody walks up the aisle going, this won't last. And if that is a thought, then you shouldn't be doing it. You should be having conversations before.
How cold are your feet is the question. Like, can you feel all your toes? Or
Yeah. I think cold feet are normal. I don't think it's got necessarily that there's something wrong in the relationship. It's just nerves rather than cold feet.
Also, like, there's a lot of pressure around the day in general because you're like, if you're quite an introverted person, you're on show for an entire day, and that in itself is nerve-wracking. Couple that with like the biggest declaration in a contract you're ever going to make. There's tons of pressure there.
I have had a question come in at the last minute that I didn't have time to print out. What did you say these were from?
Like
Ticket office.
They're on a car parking machine.
I really want to peel them off and just stick them everywhere.
Yes,
they are sticky?
I do when I get home.
They're literally stickers.
Are they stickers?
That's it. When they're done, stick them on me. It's a brother printer.
That's
So
hilarious.
as they come in, we just print them off in the shop or in here. But it was actually a groom saying, I'm just not going to turn up on the day.
Oh, wow.
But
imagine being the bride.
I know.
I know someone who had that happen to her.
Wow.
And I'm going to say this to anyone who is thinking about not turning up. Please communicate it to someone before the day.
Yes.
Because there is nothing more traumatizing than getting to that point and having no one there.
Imagine
Messed
getting
her up
ready, like getting your hair and makeup done, getting in your
It's
dress.
days before you're getting ready as well.
Yeah.
So it's,
God.
so my advice was to basically, if you could, write to her. You don't want to have a communication with her verbally. And I would do everything you can to cancel stuff. So do a lot of the work before, for her, so she's not left doing it. I've had a couple of brides that's happened to over the years.
And I think there's like a broader picture in terms of men speaking in that if I feel uncomfortable about something, I'm more likely to keep it to myself. I really believe that men should talk to their friends. So if you are having thoughts and feelings where you're like, these are really big, speak to your best bud. Just be like, even if it's over a drink, just be like, can I meet you at the pub? I'm really nervous. Can we chat?
Because sometimes these thoughts are bigger than they actually are.
100%. You just need to talk them out.
Magnify them, don't we, in our head. So write it down. Write it down first. Communicate. It's good. And maybe get a mediator. To come in and say, right, actually this is what's happening. He doesn't want to go through with it.
And just try and
just not turn up.
Don't turn up.
That's harsh.
But this is the thing, right? I think all of us at some point have ghosted someone, but we would never want to be ghosted. So I also appreciate that if you're in that position, you're like, it's way easier to just not turn up.
Flip it round. If it was you, how would you feel?
Exactly.
So really thinking of doing a change of image before the wedding. Beard or no beard? That is the question.
Always beard.
Always beard. Always beard.
Not like beard, but always facial hair. Don't just then go and shave it off just before.
Yeah.
It's like women that change their hair before the day.
Have you seen the ones that change it on the day?
No.
So they get married with their hair as is, and then they
have a haircut.
They have a haircut and change their dress and come out to the reception. As a new person.
I have never heard of this.
Yeah,
That's
I've actually
psychotic.
had a bride that did it. She had really long hair, so she grew her hair.
Yeah.
So I think it took 18 months, and it was really long for the wedding because she wanted the hairstyle.
Yeah.
And then after, she went and changed her dress into a boppy dress, and then they literally did a bob. And the hair got donated to the Children's Trust.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic, but even the groom didn't know that she was doing it, and they thought that she was a stripper. At first,
That's
she just came running out, you know,
Oh my
and the
God.
music tempo went up, and it was like, oh, it's stripper time, you know, as if at a wedding, you know. But yeah,
I actually had a brief aside before we answer this question. I actually went to a wedding where someone had surprised the couple with a burlesque dance. It was the most uncomfortable thing.
Awkward.
The last thing you need in front of your parents is like somebody stripping off, and they were like kids running around. I was like, book this. You guys are idiots.
Mommy, where are those boobies over there?
we did
What is this?
Don't Tell the Bride, the first one that we did, and she had that at her wedding.
Oh wow!
Because that was the theme and everything, and everybody looked really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Wow.
So any sudden changes and stuff like that.
I'd say no. I'd go whatever your like default look is. If you're going for like
Default.
if you're like, I'm going on a night out, I'm gonna do a one here, fade it into a 0.5, get the skin fade.
Yeah.
Do that.
My husband does not want
Yeah.
me on default mould. You know.
Oh.
But John actually consulted with me and went, beard or no beard?
Great.
Yeah.
Glasses
Communication.
or no
Ask the
glasses.
question.
And I went, I think I said no glasses. I said, because then you won't look at me and go, oh God, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You won't be able to see me.
It'll blur.
So I think consult with your partner
Yeah,
first.
chat to them.
But sudden changes can be disorientated when you're walking up that aisle and your partner, it doesn't look like your partner.
Yeah, you need it to be like the most familiar thing.
They
on
are
the
your
day.
anchor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Definitely. Right. A budget one. How do I talk about budget, without causing conflict? Great show, guys, from Phil.
Oh, I take full credit, Phil.
Please, because I can't. How
do you talk about budget without causing
Who
conflict?
are you causing conflict with? Oh, the partner.
I guess the partner,
Okay.
if she really wants to.
How did you do it?
We had a couple of things where Sophie really wanted to spend in an area that I felt like we didn't need to.
Wanted to spend.
I put a capital P on that spend. Yeah.
Ours was the other way round. My
Really?
husband wanted to do the spending. I'd had enough by the third wedding. I was like, stop spending.
Same.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
But he wanted to like fork out on quite a lot of expensive
But
stuff.
I think that comes also from another side where like the boys don't get involved. They don't know how much things cost.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, we went to like the open day of our venue, and John went, "Oh, are we having those pillars with the flowers on?" I went, "Not £400 pop."
If you're going to win the lottery, mate.
Yeah.
And they really did want them, and I was like, "Absolutely not." You know, and it can be the other way round as well.
The wedding that I was the celebrant at, they had the option of having fairy lights in the scaffolding. What's it called up here? Help me.
Beams.
Beams. Thank you.
Scaffolding.
I think we got the wrong person in.
But, so they're normally in the beams, but it was an extra £250 for them to
fairy lights?
Yes.
not take them down.
Yeah.
They're already up.
Because they charge you to put them up.
Oh.
They charge you to take them down.
Yeah.
They charge you for the electricity. There's loads.
My venue
one person.
they were just there, and that was just it.
Yeah.
They were just there.
Wow. I think in general, a lot of the stuff you think you're going to remember, you don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
From your day. That's the stuff that I remember is not how much I spent on the flowers. It's like the fact that somebody got drunk and they said this really cute thing, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So how is he going to navigate this with his partner?
I think
How did you do it?
she told me, here's what I want.
Yeah.
Here's why I want it.
Yeah.
And I said, here's my reservations.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, okay, so she wants like the big flowers. Can we
Yeah.
achieve that with cheaper flowers?
Yeah.
Is there, I think as long as you communicate why you don't want it,
Yeah.
then I think that's fine. But if you're like, nah, babes, I'm not interested. It's too much money. Then it's not fair. I don't think it's fair.
So the answer to all of these
Whose voice
questions
was
is
that?
I
communication.
don't know. I think it might have been my dad's.
was gonna say, was it
I think
your
it might have been my
dad?
dad's voice. He probably got me.
So basically, just communicate the
Yeah,
answer to all of the
communicate.
questions.
I do. This is the problem: is I don't want the same answer for every single one, but it is.
But it
It
is.
is.
It is.
Communication is really important.
And that's what. Yeah.
We're going to do a few more of these, but we got some funny stories.
Yeah.
Bride wants all the grooms to have the same style to match the girls. Boys are not playing ball.
Hmm.
Depends what you mean by style. I guess.
Hairstyles, I reckon.
Do you reckon hairstyles? girls.
I reckon.
Mate, I think...
Boys not hard going to be in dresses, are they?
No, but I mean like a tie that matches
Oh, I
the
see.
dress. Do you know what I mean?
Normal.
Like, that's normal. I would say that's
What does it mean by
given.
style?
Why did the groomsmen get a say? Sorry, is that I don't know if I'm being out of order.
But the
there.
bridesmaids have a say, massive say.
Oh really?
They didn't with me. I was just like,
They
you're
didn't with
wearing
mine.
these.
No, I've just stopped doing bridesmaids in the boutique for that reason. It was just too upsetting to see the bride go through
Really?
the dictation of the bridesmaids. It
I
was
just
awful.
told my bridesmaids,
Yeah.
here's what we're wearing.
Yeah.
They got to choose, because they had 4 different colours. Choose your colour,
Yeah.
but it's this dress.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the boys don't think about it much.
I was just like, hey, although there was a slight difference with mine, is like a lot of my friends are in different stages in their lives, and I didn't want them to fork out for a suit because suits can be expensive.
Yes.
So if she's saying to all of the groomsmen, I want you to buy this blush pink suit for this
Right.
one day, I think
You're
they
never
can.
going to wear it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think if you're making someone do something, you pay. But if you're not going to pay, then they have a say.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the easiest way to do it.
That is great.
That's
Yeah.
such a good way of
Let's get
doing
that on a
it.
postcard, guys.
I know. No, but that's true. That's
Yeah.
so true because it does. You know, like you said, people can't afford it, and
I
they're
s-
going to more than one wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I said to him, I was like, if you've got a black suit, and then I checked with them, and they all did. Just like,
Yeah.
cool, let's do that. Do you all guys have a bow tie? If not, I bought them like a £2.50 bow tie
Yeah.
on Amazon or whatever,
Yeah.
and I just put them in that, and it was fine.
That's what
Brilliant.
we did. They all just
Smart.
had their own suits, but just had ties to match the girls.
And I think that's enough.
Fantastic.
That's it,
Yeah.
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 So another conversation with the bride.
Communicate.
Keep communicating.
Keep
We're gonna lose all our
communicating.
followers, you know. Do you want to do last one, and then we'll do
Yeah,
some
go
funny
on then.
questions.
Oh, sneakers. Can I wear sneakers or something casual from the Tux Man? Lol. Lol.
That's not a question for me. I'm
Why?
asking my bride that. I'm asking my wife
speak to-
that.
communicate.
Yeah, it depends on the
It
vibe.
depends on the wedding. Like our
Yeah.
first wedding, we were like festival vibes. Like we were
Great.
outside in tent, like
Yeah.
Nordic tents.
Yeah.
We were all going to wear Converse, like
Yeah.
with initials on it. It was going to be really chilled. But then by the time it came to the third wedding, it was not. It was a manor house with proper shoes. So
Yeah.
it depends on the vibe, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
The Tux Man, there is another question because I saw them come in one after another.
Go on.
Tux Man also asked before this one, he wants to wear a tux to the wedding. He's one of the ushers, and it's not everybody else is wearing suits.
My groomsmen wore tuxes as well.
I
But
think he's being a dick. This
I
man.
think he's weird.
Tux Man, are you a
He thinks
dick?
he's
Yeah, sorry, you are. But he wants to wear a tux when he's not being asked.
So he wants to wear a
Yeah.
tux and sneakers.
and sneakers.
Nah,
You're
Dude.
not Justin Timberlake.
get him out.
Wait, are you?
Oh
Is the
yeah,
Tux Man
actually,
Justin
if you are
Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake, you can do this. It's absolutely
Listen, if
fine.
you're Justin Timberlake, you can do what you want.
As long as you pay for the wedding. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no. So it's a no, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
think
Just do
it's
as
a
you're
no.
told.
Just, yeah, like compromise, guys.
Yeah.
Meet in the middle.
Do you want to do some? I'll tell you what would you change about the wedding now?
I know exactly what I would change.
Okay.
When it came to the speeches, I was worried that they'd gone on for too long. And so when it came to my speech, everyone was eating dessert. And I was like, let me just talk while you guys are eating because I don't want to take up any more of your time. And I did the most rushed speech that I've ever done in my life. And I came out of it and it was like, everyone was going on to the evening. I was like, oh, that's great. Everyone, like, nobody's bored now. And then afterwards, my wife was like, why didn't you do a proper speech? Like, you didn't give it the time. And so I think there is an element of, whilst you need to communicate with your bride, I think do what would make you happy on the day.
Yeah.
Because actually everyone was there for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoy
So
it.
you did your speech last.
I did my speech last
You
because
should have done it first. Isn't it the groom first? Or is it the father of the bride first?
I can't remember what order it is.
Yeah,
didn't
father
do
of the bride first. And
we
then...
didn't do traditional speeches.
Yeah,
we
okay.
had maid of honor speak. We had like my sister speak, my
Right.
dad, her dad. Like we kind of did all over
Yeah.
the place. We didn't want to do traditional speeches.
You're the most important person, though, out of that group.
Yeah, and I kind
And
of
that's what she wanted to
that's
hear.
what she wanted. Yeah.
It means you're going to have to renew your vows.
I would gladly do that. I'd gladly do that on a budget. I've got a kid coming.
What surprised you most about your wedding?
So my sister was the celebrant for the day. And what I didn't know was in the background, for the 3 months leading up, she took over everything. So
Right.
she redirected all of like the suppliers to herself, asked us like key questions, and then handled everything.
So she was your wedding planner too?
And a celebrant on the day. Yeah. And she organised, like, we had different surprises for each of us. Oh. She got everyone to put on performances for us. She did extra decorations. She did, like, that was...
You have got to have a lot of trust in that person, because they could really fuck up your wedding.
Yeah, but she's Captain
I could not have a wedding
Captain
planner.
Fun.
I'm too much of a control freak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah. I'd need to know everything.
Well, this is the same as having a cleaner, but cleaning the house yourself before they come.
I would definitely do that.
I
as well.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
My wife makes me do that too. It's the most annoying thing.
You are the cleaner.
Why did we call them?
Yeah, but that's it. Because I don't want them to judge me.
Yeah. I even planned my own Hendu because I couldn't have my maid of honour do it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Lottie, please.
No, I wasn't really that bothered about having a Hendu. I've done it. Well, actually, it was my first Hendu.
Was it?
Yeah, no, I hadn't had Hendus on the other two, so I just I'm just quite easygoing. So I'm like, just tell me where to go.
What you just said you're a control freak, and then you're like, I'm quite easygoing.
Yeah, I know. Also, like a psychopath as well. Schizophrenic too. But so that is a lot of trust. But did you not like tell her what you wanted?
She was really good in the sense of, like, we had a couple of really long phone conversations where she'd, like...
How long were the phone calls?
Like 2 or 3 hours a time.
Oh my God.
She asked us everything. And she just really wanted to know, and not just like, she didn't want to know about specifics, she wanted to know, if something like this happened, how would you handle it?
Okay.
So that she could almost employ our decision making onto the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she made sure that we had an outdoor wedding when the venue were like, no. And luckily the weather showed up for us on the day.
Fantastic.
But if it wasn't for her, we'd have been inside.
You've got to have plan B if you're planning an outside wedding.
True. Yeah. It's true.
Always have it. I went to a wedding in Cornwall. It was actually one of my Saturday girls who went all grown up and got married. And and it was in St Ives, and she really wanted an outdoor wedding, and the weather was just ferocious. Literally 20 minutes before the ceremony, the sun came out, and I looked at the dad and looked at the guests and went, chairs now, and we ran out. You didn't. All the guests picked up a chair and we all ran out with our chairs.
Oh, that's so great. I love that.
And then she came out and went, I'm getting married in the sunshine, and it was beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Not a lot of venues would be that flexible.
Yeah, you just have to go. It's Cornwall. We're all flexible. Yeah, go with the flow. We've got a wheel to come on, so let's bring that wheel on, and then we've got some questions. There's some funny stories from the public. So if I just hand out a few to you, we can do these after the wheel. So we've got our wheel now. Give it a spin for us.
Okay.
Not done the wheel for ages. Oh, that's so
Wedding
gentle.
Mayhem needs a personalised wheel, like Tits, Tums and all things.
Well, we would have it if the boss actually got it printed. He's had it 6 months.
I had to get my own printed.
Oh, did it? Oh, sorry. We need to talk, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Would you rather?
Would you rather what?
Would you rather what?
Well, you're captain of everything. What would you rather do other than what you're doing now?
Oh, I see. Oh, God.
If it was a sex game.
Yeah, I thought it was a sex game too. Yeah, I thought it was like, would you rather...
I thought this was turning into a whole different show.
I have got a podcast for that. So if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing? Completely the opposite.
Completely the opposite. What would I be good at? Maybe like... Oh, no, I was going to say no. That's too much pressure. I can't imagine doing anything else. What do I do?
That's
do you know
good,
what?
though.
Do you know what? I'd be a really good painter decorator.
Would you?
Aww.
Yeah, because I like all the fiddly bits and I like the painting.
You dance as you do it as well.
Yeah,
you would.
yeah.
You would. Give us another go.
Hey, Don't give me same again.
Oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret.
Come on. I feel you've got lots of secrets.
Yeah, I'm just like rifling through. What's appropriate?
Little filing cabinets coming out.
Your wheel is much more daring than my wheel.
Is it?
Getting secrets out of people.
Yeah, we haven't had secrets for ages, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in getting married, even when I proposed.
No way.
Yeah, for me, I think I've got a friend who's equally as satirical and skeptical as I am, and he kind of views marriage as like it was this traditional thing that was like an exchanging of assets, and it would be like, it wasn't very loving, it was just very formal.
Yeah.
And I sort of had that same opinion, that I was like, why do I need the government to get involved in our relationship? I'm not going anywhere. And then the more we spoke about it, the more I realized that actually the marriage is something that provides security in the relationship. And after having proposed and having got married, I say to anyone who isn't interested in marriage, you're wrong. Because actually that security in that marriage, it does something different. For the time that you guys are together, it's like, it is magical. There's just like, there's no questions in between you anymore. It's like, cool, we're locked in. So that's probably my secret. Yeah,
it's secure. It is security. It's heart security.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I wasn't interested in getting married again. It wasn't even on my radar. And then it happened. And then, you know, and then for us and our boys, we became a unit.
Yeah.
Solid unit. And it was just lovely, you know.
Yeah.
So what a good secret that is.
Yeah,
come on, let's do some naughty questions.
Okay.
And then we must sign up because you need to go back to school.
I need to
not back to school. Kids up.
Yeah. Okay. Can I go first?
Go on then.
Go.
Pick your groom's ushers wisely. I got married and found out he was cheating on me on our honeymoon.
Oh.
All his friends supported me throughout. His usher is now my lovely husband and daddy to our twins.
Holy
it's
shit.
weird to say we met at my wedding.
Yeah, I know the bride.
Do you?
Yeah, she's one of my brides. Absolutely awesome person. Yeah.
Wait, I can't process this.
Okay. So her husband to be
was cheating.
Yes.
His friends didn't like that.
No.
And so they were on her side.
They told her?
They told her?
No.
Oh.
So, and it was really funny actually. Well, it wasn't really funny. It was really quite sad. So obviously we did the first dress and she was quite a somber girl, you know, didn't really talk much and stuff like that. So it was more of a transaction sort of thing. And off she went. And then she came back and we steamed it and off she went. And we never heard from her again. Oh, I think we got a photo and a card. And then she came through the door. It must have been about 2 years later. And time stops in our boutique. You know, people can come back 10 years later and we're like, oh, how are you? And pick up where we've left off. You know, like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, she came bounding in. She was really happy and smiley. And I said, so what are we doing with you today? You know, thinking, well, is she picking up a dress? I can't, you know, nothing in the diary. And she went, I've come to buy a wedding dress. I'm like, oh, right, okay. and then the story came out and then she could see the confusion on my face.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, we've already got a wedding dress. What are you doing now? I'm not exchanging. It's 2 years ago. and she said, yeah, basically they got married. And they went on honeymoon. She picked up his phone because it had a message on it. I think it might have been somebody they knew, and it was she got all the messages. So he'd been having an affair before they got married. So.
How does one have an affair through a wedding? That makes no sense.
Well, it was leading up to the wedding, so before the wedding.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you've then gone and got married. How do you not think,
you'd be like, oh, maybe...
she probably shouldn't get married.
Yeah,
interesting that she was like a different type of person from the... Do you...
Totally different person.
As someone who has had a few partners, so I've probably phrased that wrong, were you a different person with each one? Do you feel like you changed with your partner?
You change as you get older anyway, but yes, definitely, because I think you mould yourself to that person.
Yeah.
So if in this case, if she's in a relationship that's negative energy, which obviously there clearly was because he was not fully committed, then it's definitely going to bounce off you and you might not know why.
Yeah, and you'll just be different.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, so, and that's it, and came home and everybody was upset at the way that it happened and they all rallied around her and she said, but don't feel sorry for me because I'm marrying one of the ushers.
Oh, that's so great.
And that's it. And happy ever after, you know. So that's when do you want to do yours?
Yeah,
Screw that guy.
At a
that guy. Yeah. Well, somebody did.
Oh, yeah. Oh no.
And it wasn't her.
Did you say I wasn't there?
Oh my gosh, Lottie.
I said it wasn't her.
Oh, it wasn't her.
Jesus Christ, who do you think I am?
I don't know, I've only met you 5 minutes ago and now you're on my sofa.
I know, right? Right.
Easy.
At a wild stag do in Prague, the lads dared the groom to get a tattoo of his fiance's face on his thigh. He agreed, but they swapped it for his mother-in-law-to-be with I love you under it. She didn't find out until the honeymoon. She laughed eventually. They're still married, but now she screens his tattoo artist.
Oh my God.
How awkward.
I mean, if your mother-in-law's pretty.
Yeah, it's true. She's hot.
You know?
But it's still a bit awkward, you know, if you're doing the deed and then you look down at his leg and it's your mum.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be some positions that you can hit where you don't see it. Like,
lights out.
And he's...
turn the lights off. Turn the lights off. Yeah. It's got to be awkward.
Oh my God. One groom had... This has happened to me.
What?
George gave me this before I left the shop. One groom had a mic hidden under his jacket for the vows. He forgot it was on when he... Oh, no, this didn't actually happen like me. He forgot it was on when he went to the bathroom right before the ceremony. Guests were treated to a very intimate pre-wedding soundtrack over the loudspeakers.
Oh, God.
I've heard about this.
But what was he doing in the toilet is what I want to know.
He clearly was on his own, pleasuring himself.
Was he having fun in
Wait,
the
wait,
clearly.
I'm sorry.
Wait, why do you have a wank on a bloody wedding?
Why is that the assumption you're making, though? Surely it just means they heard him have a poo.
But his bride's not that, unless it's the woman from the affair.
But, okay, read it again and tell me where it says masturbation.
Intimate. Intimate.
One
I mean,
groom had a
poo can
mic
be
hidden
intimate.
under his jacket for the vows. He forgot it was on and he went to the bathroom right before the ceremony. Guests were treated to a very, very intimate pre-wedding soundtrack over the loudspeakers.
Listen, maybe he was just testing that post-nut clarity. He wanted to be 100% sure. He needed to get that one out of the system, so he knew, he was like, oh, yeah, I am going to get married.
He was very turned on about seeing his bride walk up the aisle.
That's it,
No, but
yeah.
he was a groomsman, wasn't he? Oh, no, it was a
Groom.
Jesus Christ. What groom has time to bash one out on their wedding day?
True. That's true.
Oh, my God.
Over to you.
Oh, yes, sorry, go on.
No, that was a question.
Oh. What groom has time? I was like, oh, let me tell you about the time I masturbated before.
Oh, God.
You've not heard of it before?
No, I've not.
Right, okay,
no.
well, so that's a new one for me. Thanks, Georgia, for printing that one off.
Okay, should we do... How much time we got? We got time?
Yeah.
Okay. During the vows, the groom got so nervous he accidentally said the name of his ex instead of the bride.
Wow.
That sounds like they're just copying the moment from Friends, no?
It happens
Oh,
a lot,
yeah,
though.
the Friends-
Is it?
Yeah, we hear of it quite often, especially if, when they do especially at church, when they do the rehearsal the night before.
Right.
We hear about that quite a lot.
Okay,
But it
all right.
depends how long they've
Yeah.
been together, because if it's still fairly new, I can understand that. But
Yeah.
if it's been like 5 years,
Yeah,
how
innit?
do you still have that person's name in your head?
Well, I think you just... I don't know, are you thinking of how happy you are and thank God I didn't marry Jane from the Butchers, you know?
that's true. Jane from the Butchers.
Okay.
Why I go...
He accidentally said the name of his ex instead of his bride. There was a long pause, and then his bride leaned into the mic and said, "You've got 10 seconds to fix that. They're happily married now, but she never lets him forget it." So she bantered it off.
Yeah,
She didn't
perfect.
just make him suffer for it.
Yeah.
So I respect that.
Yeah, that's good. We need to round up. Do you want to do another one?
Nah, it's too long.
It's too long.
It's too long.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking these home.
Great story.
Great stories. But I was, again, shocked how many grooms need help out there.
I thought you were going
Yeah.
to say how many grooms masturbate.
Yeah, if you're doing this, we
dude.
we don't want the videos, obviously, but we want to know.
Speak for yourself, Sharon.
Why? You're going on your tour.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
no.
The flash screen behind. What are you up to now?
So now I've got a comedy showcase coming up.
Can we go and see you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is it?
It'll be to location TBC, but if you
Okay.
follow me on Instagram at Soyza-Montague, good luck spelling it.
Listen, I could say it.
Then you can find the tickets. They'll be on sale over the next month or so.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh, my
that's the
God,
big
how
one.
exciting. And there's a baby coming.
And there's a baby. Oh my God, I should have said that first. Jesus Christ. Sophie's going to kill me. I said the comedy showcase before the baby.
You mean the comedy
We know
comes
where your
first?
brain's at.
That's it, yeah. That's just happening early.
Yeah.
That's
You're
it,
going in itinerary mode first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
October the 4th with you.
Nice save.
And I'm going to be listening to your podcast to get some tips and stuff for it.
Yeah,
as
well, you're coming.
Oh God, maybe
dancing
don't listen
naked.
to my podcast, because that is literally walking contraception. It's like all the difficult and hard parts of parenthood. You'll be like, shit, it's
Maybe-
Too late
what have I
now.
done? What have I
it's
done?
true.
Shove it back
I'm
in.
kind of locked in, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like-
right. It's too late. It's
And where
too
can
late.
everybody find you?
Everyone can find me on Tits, Tums and All Things Mum on Instagram, and my tour is in September. Tickets go on sale on the 15th of June.
I can't wait. Honestly, it's going to be carnage. And thank you
Absolute
so much
carnage.
for coming in.
That's
at
all
last
right.
minute.
Thanks for grabbing me in the corridor.
The only words was I hung back because I haven't replied back to your message. I went, oh yeah, actually come on the podcast.
Come on, let's go.
Before we go, I've got a little surprise for you.
What?
Face.
What do you mean?
Ben is the kindest man you'll ever meet. He is utterly selfless. He thinks of everyone else before himself, and he can't do enough for you. His smile lights up every room. He's always the most loved and laughed at and with in any room. He's the belle of the ball and the ultimate party man. Every time I look at Ben in a situation when we're with other people in a room, I cannot believe I am so lucky to be married to this man. I was at a wedding recently and just watching him dancing brought me to tears because everyone was just watching him and in awe of him, and I can't believe he's mine. I genuinely love him so much, and I would be completely lost without him. His kindness, his love, his laughter, it gets me out of bed every morning, and I'm so lucky to fall asleep next to him every single night.
Oh,
That's so fair.
Oh my God.
I tell you, they kill me every time I watch them. You know, you are husband goals.
Oh, listen,
You know.
she is wife goals. She is the light of my life, and she's the reason that I'm good at anything. She is. God, man, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky.
We shut him up. That is a first.
Yes, it might be. Oh man.
So go
so
follow
cute.
these awesome people. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Thank you for all the messages, all those little thumbs up, likey, subscribing buttons,
Nice.
wose
Those
doing.
likies.
I
Keep
know,
going
those
with them
likey
buttons.
I know, whatever you're doing, it's working and it's supporting our industry and all the couples getting married out there. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.